Alrighty. Thank you everyone for joining us for this class, or for those that will be watching the replay. Super excited to share with you today this class about the secret of having glowing skin this fall. And I'm with my new friend, Ruben. I just love being able to collaborate with individuals. And I actually have a few questions for him after seeing his presentation. There's a couple questions that I have. So I love bringing a diverse group of people so that we can learn a lot of different skills. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to him. He's going to give a little introduction, and then we'll start into his presentation, and then I'll chat for a little bit and then do my presentation.
Yes, so my name is Ruben, and first I have to thank you so much for having me, because I think you're doing a great thing with bringing, different people with different types of background and experience and trades together and putting it in such an accessible way for anyone, to listen to. It's basically like giving away gold. So thank you for that. But yes, so, let's see, when I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to do something with dermatology, be an MD in that, and just helping people, because, I've always spoke that I come from a background where ancestrally, they had a lot of acne issues. And when, as a kid growing up, I would see not just the way it looked, but the pain it would cause an individual, the insecurities it could bring. So I always knew growing up that I never wanted to be in that kind of situation. I wanted to do more for myself. So I decided to do something about it, and I just got into skincare. One of the things that I liked was, I'm a big lover of Korean beauty, and I think Korea's like at least 10 years ahead of everyone else in the skin industry. And so there's a lot of different techniques that I've been able to curate over the past almost decade, with application, different types of ingredients that your product should be having and things like that. So I always love to educate, and I'm all about preventative health. A lot of people want to wait till they're 40 or 50 or have a lot of, or some kind of damage, and then, well, now I want to reverse it. So I think it's a lot better to start young. That's another question people ask, but we'll get more into that, about when should I do it? Am I too old? Am I too young? But definitely preventative skincare is the way to go. And that's really what I'm all about.
Wonderful. So I'm going to share my screen so you can start going through your presentation.
Okay, let's see. And you can still hear me, right? Okay. So today I'm going to talk about the 7 skin method. And this is so important because a lot of the times we just apply a moisturizer or maybe a serum and then we go. But the 7 skin method is really ideal for all skin types, whether you have oily, whether you are a combo, dry, or sensitive. Because the idea behind it is that you are packing on this hydration. So your skin's going to be plumped throughout the day. So if we could just go to the next slide. So again, with the 7 skin method, it's going to deeply hydrate your skin. A term that is used in K-beauty, Korean beauty, is glass skin. And the idea behind that is that, and especially for women, because women are the ones that primarily wear makeup, is that you can go about in your day, you can go to work without having to pack on, all these powders and products that really are detrimental to your skin in the long run. So you can have that glass skin, that beautiful glow that you see with this 7 skin method. And another thing that I like about it is that it's very meticulous. So it's gonna, if you are, let's say, procrastinator or something, this is gonna really help you be organized when it comes to your skincare, because it's a scary place when you don't have any experience on where to start, what should I get. So this is going to really help you build that meticulous regimen that any celebrity or people that have a lot of money can afford, and it can be in the reach of anyone. So in the 7 skin method, your first step is actually my most favorite step, which is cleansing. And a lot of these products that I have you're going to see on the slide, like the orange one is the papaya cleanser, I actually use myself. So with the cleansing, I in the morning just do a cleanse with my water-based cleanser. And it isn't until night till we do what we call, which is now becoming really big, the double cleansing. And yeah, I always say you don't need a double cleanse more than once a day, because then you're really going to be stripping your skin of these elements that your skin needs. But with the double cleansing, it's going to really help. So you want to start first with your oil-based cleanser. This is a cleansing balm, and I prefer cleansing balms in my oil-based cleansers because they're really going to help remove makeup. They're going to help remove buildup and sunscreen, which we should all be wearing. So the things that your regular cleansers leave behind, this is going to be the first step. And what you're going to want to do is what I call a 1+1 method, which is also from Korea. Now, in this 1+1 method, you're going to start 1 full minute with your oil-based cleanser, and you're going to do a thorough massage. So for 1 full minute, you're going to do that thorough massage with your oil-based cleanser. Then you're going to splash that off, and you're going to follow with your water-based cleanser, which you know, it could be a foam, it could be anything. I prefer foam pump just because it lasts longer and you don't have to, you know, rub as much. And that's another thing. If your cleanser is, you know, kind of oily, you want to lather in your hands first, because if you put it on your face and then start to lather, it's going to cause more friction than your skin actually needs. So always lather in your hands first, and then you want to apply that water-based cleanser. And then for a second full minute, you're going to do a gentle massage. So really, in reality, your cleansing steps should be taking 2 full minutes so that the active ingredients in your cleansers can take effect, as well as make sure that you remove everything. And then after that, I always do the ditch the towel. So instead of patting, you can pat, but instead of getting a towel and just rubbing, I do like a air dry, or I pat the rest down. So I'm never doing a rubbing motion. We never want to rub. So that's going to be your first step. So then we go into our second step, which is our toner. And this toner I really love because it has cactus water. It has, instead of using regular water, it has that cactus water for more hydration and pump. It also has PHA and BHA, which if you're suffering from acne from a mask that you're wearing, this is really going to be great. But with your toner, you want to pour some into your hand. And then what I always like to do is I like to gently pat it together to really activate the ingredients. And then I just do a press, and then I pat it in. So once again, we're avoiding that rubbing motion and we're patting in. And your toner, you want to be using both in morning and night. Now with the toner, it's really going to help. A lot of people think it's for cleaning, but like I said, if you do the thorough cleansing, toner's not meant to clean any extra or take it off. It's meant to start that foundation for the next steps in your routine. So this is so important, your eye cream. Now your eye creams are generally they can be both applied in the morning or at night. But personally, I like to just do it at night. I don't want to walk around with eye cream all day, but you can do it. Now with the eye cream, what you want to do is you always want to use your ring finger because it is the most sensitive. So you're not going to be applying a lot of pressure because our skin under our eyes is the most sensitive part of our whole face. So we want to use our ring finger because when you apply it, naturally, it's going to be less pressure than all other of your fingers. And once you apply it, you want to really apply all around the orbital bone. So even going up above your eyebrow to your side, all the way under. And you're going to do that on both eyes, of course. I like to use the eye cream. This one has encapsulated retinol. So if you have sensitive skin, the encapsulated retinol is time released. So therefore, the retinol is going to be put into your skin over the course of the night. So you don't have to worry about it, you know, if you have sensitive skin, breaking out or being red, because it's a gradual release overnight. That's why I like to use it. But your eye cream is definitely going to come out of come after your toner and before anything else. And that's going to be our third step. So after we apply our eye cream, next is a serum, which is also one of my favorite steps. Now with the serum, a lot of serums come with a little applicator. And with these, you never want to directly put it on the skin, because if you put it on the skin or on your hand, you can have more bacteria. So I always just drop it on my face, or if I have to, I drop it on my hand. But the same thing with that, or even if you have a pump, you want to as well pat it on your hand, or if you already have it applied on your face, you want to pat in. What the serum really is going to do, depending on what it is, like the Pineapple Bright, it has vitamin C. So it's really going to help rejuvenate, retexturize. And with the serum, that's really, in my opinion, what's going to give you that glass skin look. So after you apply your toner, and at night, if you use your eye cream, you can put your serum. Now for me, I generally just apply a serum during the day. I don't do it at night. My during the day regimen is a little bit more elaborate than my night, but definitely you want to make sure that you're doing the patting again. And with the serum, you want to do quick, fast pats all on your face and let that soak in for about 30 seconds before we continue on to our next step. So step number 5 is going to be really important, which is a moisturizer. Because especially if you're like me, where you've already applied your toner, you've already applied your serum, these are going to be humectants. So what that means is, especially if you live in the South or anywhere where there's humidity or a lot of heat, these are evaporants. So they can evaporate into the air throughout the day. So the moisture is really what's going to help put that final wall to lock in those humectants. So if your moisturizer like mine is like this, before all of this, you want to make sure you have clean hands. But definitely what I like to do is wash my hands again. I have a little spatula, but sometimes if you don't, you can just, again, put your finger, put a dab. We also have, of course, ones with pump. You can pump it into your hand. But this is definitely going to be very important at night and during the day, both. And at the end of the slide, I have different moisturizers I like to use. But with the moisturizer, again, you want to pat in. Sometimes because it's so silky, we have the tendency of rubbing. But again, we just want to pat in. And that's really going to be the final step of locking in all these layers that we have applied into our skin. So step number 6 is optional. I personally am a big fan of masks. You have your different type of mask. I forgot to bring one of them, but you have your sheet mask. Then you have your mask. And these, I love the texture because you apply this, of course, after you put your moisturizer on. And I'm really a big fan of overnight masks because they are designed to not fall off at night if you get a good one. And you leave it overnight. And in the morning, the first thing you do is you wash it off. And if you didn't apply a mask the night before, there's something called a flash mask, where it's if you wake up and your skin is just very dehydrated or you had a rough night, you can apply the mask, this one, or any, you just have to read, for 15 minutes. And you do that before you even wash your face. And then you're going to wash it off. You splash it off. So it's a flash mask. It's going to really help with that hydration as well. Then you have other types of masks. This one is retinol based. So again, you can wear it at night. But definitely I wouldn't mask in the morning. It's more of a night thing, unless, like I said, you wake up and you can do a flash mask. So my final step, which is the most important, it's like if I travel anywhere and I forget to bring anything, it's going to be sunscreen. A lot of people think sunscreen as being non-important or very strenuous, but it's very easy. And this is the most important thing. I always say nothing looks better in your 50s than sunscreen in your 20s. And, you know, there's a lot of things out there that are going to help with fine lines or, you know, helping your skin look younger. but really it's going to be sunscreen. And of course, sunscreen is something that you apply in the morning. You want to make sure that you're applying it 10 to 15 minutes before actually going out. So my recommendation is don't just put it on and then let's go. Do it 15 to 10 minutes before going out. And then of course, generally the best rule of thumb is to reapply every 2 hours. Of course, if you work, if you're traveling, it's not always possible. But definitely if you can, apply it every 2 hours. And then another thing that was really interesting to me is that a lot of people were just like putting a dime size or, you know, going against the recommended dosage. But you got to remember, just because it's SPF 40 or SPF 50, it doesn't mean that you're going to get all that if you're halving the recommended dosage. So if you're not putting what is the full amount, then you're not getting that full SPF 50. So you want to make sure that you're applying the recommended dosage, if not more, so that you can get that full SPF. So there's a lot of different products. People generally ask me, like, what do you recommend? What do you see? And I see a lot of them. And of course, if it works for you, then that's great. But over the next few slides, these are a few of my favorite. La Mer, it's one of my absolute favorite. If you're into like the high-end luxury moisturizers, this is definitely for you. It's a great brand. They also have a good serum, but this one would be great to apply at night for that full hydration. Then this is a favorite one of my cleansers, is the oat milk latte cleanser. This one is really great because it has B12, it has hyaluronic acid, and it also has a little bit of the coffee beans. So it's really great because this you can use as your oil-based cleanser if you want, and then you can use your second cleanser. It smells good, it's really nice. It's really good if you have sensitive skin as well. So one of the steps that I didn't mention, just because this is more of and again with the sheet mask, you want to do that like 2 to 3 times a week. You don't want to do anymore. But this is going to be an exfoliant that I love. It's from the Revision brand. And with exfoliating, it's very important to at least do it twice a week. That's going to really help with your nose area, with the open pores. It's going to help retexturize your skin. But definitely I've heard people use sugar exfoliants, and that's a big no. So you want to make sure that your exfoliant isn't too rough to where it's going to hurt your skin if you have sensitive skin, even for us who don't. But this is one that I recommend, the Revision, for exfoliating. So this is one of my new favorites that I love. It's a moisturizer. It's a Tatcha. It's a water cream. It's very light, very luxurious. Some of the ingredients that it has in it, it's actually really good. And this is going to be good mainly for nighttime. You can wear it during the day, but again, this is one that I recommend for nighttime usage as your moisturizer. And so on my Instagram, this is where you can find me. I like to post, I have like a trilogy, a 3-video series where I talk about 5 common mistakes that people make in their skincare routine. I talk about maskne, which is acne that we get from wearing our mask every day where you start to break out. And then I also talk about the double cleansing more in depth and actually go through a little walkthrough to show you, how it's done. But I like to, put my skincare tips and stuff on my page so you can find more about it on RPFT Voice. And then again, that's just so you can see the video series that I have where it talks about different things like that. And then just things in general, which I didn't get to mention this in the beginning, but skincare is something that I think should be accessible to everyone. It shouldn't be a matter of, can I afford it? Anybody and everyone should be doing it. And in reality, just because you start doing this, it doesn't mean it's going to solve all your problems. It doesn't mean that it's going to clear your acne. It's just going to help you control and manage it, because that's what skincare is all about. It's about managing the health of your skin. So we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for a better quality of life and that confidence that we should all have so that we can be happy in life and be proud of how we look and take pride in that. So that's one thing I've always saw in skincare, nothing to do with vanity, but to do with the simple fact that, you know, we want to look our best.
All right, thank you so much for all of that wonderful information. If anyone has questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself. So one of the questions you did answer, because I didn't realize that you had exfoliating there, and so you were talking about your daily 7 steps, because one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I do all of these things, and we do spa parties every single month where we get to share these things. And so when I didn't see the exfoliating in the 7 steps, I was like, oh, does he not believe in exfoliation? So that question was answered. But can you explain a little bit more, what is a serum? Because like a lot of people skip the serum step. And why do we
Yes.
need a serum?
So yeah, so for instance, like with my serum, I like to make sure that it has the hyaluronic acid. And this one actually has 5 different molecular weights to it. So it's really good because with the serum, our skin, if you have oily skin, it naturally produces, you know, a lot of oil and things like that. So based with my hyaluronic acid serum, it actually helps control the oil production that my pores are making, because I feel like if I just put the moisturizer on, my skin's gonna naturally produce more oil than it needs to, and it's gonna cause me to break out more. So the serum's really good for helping control that oil production, especially if you have oily skin. If you have sensitive skin, it's also going to help put that extra barrier. Like I said, it's really the step that's going to help have that glossy finished look, because the serum is super lightweight, it's in its texture. And so, especially nowadays when you're wearing the mask, I think it's more important to wear the serum, because it's going to help fight against that friction that our mask caused from the rubbing. So it's going to help, especially if you do a lot of rubbing, or you have a lot about, you know, you wear the mask and that friction cause, or whatever your situation may be, it's going to help counteract a lot of those movements that are detrimental to our skin. Also, what I like about the serum, like this Pineapple Bright C serum that I have, is that to me, this is the safest way to brighten your skin without doing like a chemical peel or doing a microneedling. Because like I said, again, the serum is super lightweight, so it can incorporate a lot more ingredients that, you know, you would have to go see your dermatologist for, or your esthetician. So it's a safe way to incorporate. I know like the Ordinary brand, they have glycolic acid, hyaluronic, it's like they have it in its pure form. That to me is a little too strong, I think. So I like the way the serum is able to combine. And then you have like your hybrid serum as well that, you know, combines the toner and the serum, or combines the serum and the moisturizer. But definitely the serum step is so important to me, because again, it adds that extra layer of barrier of moisture and protection to your skin.
And then when you were talking about the sunscreen, you mentioned that you should still have sunscreen on when you're indoors. Now, considering that some of us are here in the north where we don't really have a lot of sun for 3 months at a time, like you still would recommend that we always use a sunscreen every day?
Yes, just because the UV rays are so strong, even on a rainy, cloudy day, there's still UV rays. And if, let's say, you know, you're in your home and you're always next to a window, or I would wear it, sorry. But if you don't have any windows, I mean, just going to your mailbox. It's so funny because I saw a meme the other day that I agreed with, which is like, it's going to be those walks to the mailbox that's going to get you, you know, with
Yeah.
not wearing sunscreen. So I definitely would still apply the sunscreen. Of course, there are days where I like to do a very natural sort of cleaning where I don't wear any products whatsoever, you know, the day before and the next day. So just to let my skin kind of, and even with products, your skin can breathe, but that's just something I've always picked up on, is having like at least one day out of the week with almost like if you were walking, you know, in your home nude, but of course you're not, but for your skin.
Right. And so there's a question in the chat. You mentioned like when we purchase, because I know I just did a mask before this, so I have a moisturizing mask, and it's going to have directions on it to keep it on it for 20 minutes, right? But I know some people that also have recommended to do it overnight. Why is that? Why there's not going to be any danger with doing it overnight, even though the directions are going to tell you just to keep it on for 20 minutes?
So yeah, with the sheet mask, I would not recommend wearing it overnight because with the sheet mask, it's a type of material that it releases the enzymes or the ingredients that your mask has, right? So
Yep.
your skin can only absorb so much, you know. Once your skin's already reached that threshold, which scientifically it takes about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how good the product is as well. Your body's gonna, your skin's gonna start to kind of push it back. So it's kind of counteractive because the sheet mask is gonna start to absorb back this stuff. So it's gonna be kind of counterproductive.
So
Plus,
just the
more
cream
than
masks that
anything,
come like in a container is the ones that you wear overnight.
yeah, so like this one's my watermelon sleeping mask. It's very lightweight, like you can't even see that you have something on. And even like with this avocado mask, a lot of people think like, oh, it's gonna look green as I have it on, but you apply it and you can't even tell you have it on. And the thing I like is that these are meant so that they can't rub off on your sheets or pillows. So definitely you want to make sure, like with your sheet mask, I stopped doing clay mask about 4 years ago. I used to love them, but they are very harsh. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it once a month, but I definitely wouldn't make it a habit of doing the clay mask. I don't like doing those masks that you see where they kind of pull it.
Pull them off, yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that. I want to be able to have a mask that I can put on at least twice a week or 3 times a week without having to have any kind of repercussions. But yeah, the sheet mask I like. Maybe if I was on a plane or on a bus or on a road trip and I needed that instant hydration, I would leave it on for 15 minutes and then take it off, because with the sheet mask, you also want to pad in your ingredients, because a lot of people put it on and then maybe wash their face, but you want to pad in whatever's left on your sheet mask, let it kind of soak up, and then apply your moisturizer and your sunscreen.
My next question is for anybody that watches this and like maybe they haven't had a really good skin routine and so they already have like lots of acne. Do you recommend any like corrector for some of that stuff? Like, are there any acne creams that you've recommended?
Yeah. So definitely, because I myself struggle with acne. So this is one of my favorite. It's foam wash. It's from the Skin Medica line. And again, I like anything that's medical grade when it comes to incorporating salicylic acid or hyaluronic acid or benzoyl peroxide, because you buy one from Walmart or Sephora, when it says, like, let's say for instance it says 0.02% retinol, that's really taking into consideration the whole batch they made. So you're thinking it's a lot, but really it's out of the whole batch they made. But when you buy the medical grade and it says 0.02%, it's actually referring to just that one bottle or little tube that you have. So this one's Skin Medica, and this one has salicylic acid. So for us people that have oily skin or a lot of acne problems, your best friend is going to be salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. So this actually comes in a 3-step. I use this kind of every day, not in the morning, so I just use it at night in my double cleansing. And I have a toner that also has salicylic acid and it has tea tree oil, and that's really good. I apply that, and then I finish off. I have a moisturizer that has the benzoyl peroxide 2%, and I put that. Sometimes I put it as a spot treatment if I have certain areas, or if I just feel like I'm having a rough day and I want to wake up looking good tomorrow, I apply it all over my face. So definitely look for a salicylic wash and a benzoyl peroxide moisturizer. That's really going to clear up your skin. And I personally recommend the Skin Medica. I can speak to that testament.
Got it. Any other questions from anyone else? Well, all right. If there's no other questions, I'll go into my presentation now. Now, Ruben, if you could, I made you co-host. Can you spotlight me? Because I don't think I can spotlight myself as the host.
So what do you want me to do?
If you click on my name there should be a way to spotlight me because I see your face right now as I'm presenting.
Okay, let me see. So participants, and then click on your spotlight video. Okay, perfect.
Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, so I am Tashena Gonzales, and what I'm going to be sharing with you guys is the importance of toxic-free skincare. So I do use a very specific line of skincare products, and so I'll share some of those with you. And like a lot of the things that he was saying, I was like, yep, our serum has hyaluronic acid in it. Yep, awesome, awesome. Good to hear that what I'm already using fits the bill of what we were talking about. And one of the reasons why I want to do this class is because we have spa parties every single month. We go through the majority of these steps, but I haven't been as meticulous with the technique portion of it. So I really enjoyed that presentation, and for me to have good information on the actual techniques that I should be using. My sister has been an esthetician for over 14 years, and so I do have that benefit of having her as an esthetician and being able to go get facials from her. She's always, always, always been into the toxic-free portion of it. She's always been into the do-it-yourself portion of it. And then just for your information today, I don't have any makeup on except for mascara and a little bit of lip gloss because my lips would be dry if I didn't. And so this is what my skin looks like after doing the 7-step method. So I did do a cream mask, and I did the double cleansing and all of that, because those are all things that we recommend and do for people when we do our spa parties. So just a little addition about my skin story, just like Ruben, he saw the writing on the wall and he's like, this is what I'm gonna do so that I can continue to have great skin. So I was born with eczema, as well as I used to get ringworm. And so eczema really is an autoimmune disease. And having what was termed as terrible skin, I just accepted that for most of my childhood. At one point in time, I had really bad acne. They put me on medication, these pills, but it tore up my stomach so much. I was like, I would just rather have bad skin than take these pills. And I actually never got into the habit of wearing makeup every single day, because any makeup, the chemicals in it would make me want to scratch my face off. So I would only wear makeup on the days that I go to worship service. So I never had a habit of wearing makeup. There's a lot of bad habits that I had when I was younger. I didn't really use a lot of sunscreen ever. And so I have some effects of that, of like, pigmentation from not using sunscreen. And I definitely still need to increase that habit. But recently, when my sister became an esthetician and I started getting facials from her regularly, and then I started really putting a lot of concentration. I think when I was like 19, 20, 21, I had some concentration in my skincare routine, then kind of fell off. And now that I, again, have concentration in my skincare routine for the past like 8 years or so, I never have any problems. Like I very rarely have any breakouts, any acne. Most people think I'm way younger than I actually am. And again, I do the 7-step method with a lot of products that I love. So again, why is a clean skincare routine so important? Because you are too pretty to poison yourself. And we need to really focus more on skincare. We focus so much in the United States on our makeup and makeup techniques. And so these were just a few quotes that I had posted yesterday, and I think they're real in line with a lot of the things that Ruben shared. So taking care of your skin is more important than covering it up. Choose clean beauty because, girl, you're too pretty to poison. Glowing skin is a result of proper skin care. It means you can wear less makeup and let skin shine through. So that's what Ruben was talking about with that glass skin. Beautiful skin requires a commitment, not a miracle. So that's why we got to do all 7 steps in the right technique. And aging is a fact of life. Looking your age is not. So it's up to you. And as was already mentioned, if you start in your 20s, then you'll be looking a lot better once you get to your 50s. So again, why is it so important to know your ingredients and to make sure that you are using toxic-free products. Well, the average woman puts on 515 chemicals on her skin per day. And this graphic shows you some of the side effects of doing that. And that's another reason why us having spa parties and letting people try the products, and when we were doing them in person, letting them try the makeup was so important, because we know it's super important for a woman. If she's got her regimen down and she's looking good, she's not going to want to change it. So we always made it available for people to try, because there's so much damage that is being done. So the other portion is that I have had lots and lots of hormone issues, and the majority of the things that we are putting on our face and our body for women contribute to hormone issues. So if you just listen to people recently, it seems like it's just a fact of life that once you get in your 30s, you start to have irregularities with your hormones, and most people just happen to have some type of surgery by the time that they're 35 plus. What we are doing to our bodies is one of the major reasons why. So these are some of the harmful chemicals that you're going to want to avoid in your skincare. Parabens, because they're endocrine disruptors and they are linked to developmental and reproductive issues. Phthalates, because they are also endocrine disruptors and hormone disruptors. So again, these are the things that are causing the hormone issues. Formaldehyde and the formaldehyde releasing preservatives. These are skin irritants. They can impede your respiratory function and are carcinogens or cancer-causing agents. PEG compounds, they can be skin irritants, can cause skin toxicity and speed up aging. Fragrance, these have undisclosed ingredients, so they could be all of the above: skin irritants, hormone disruptors, or contain carcinogens. Sulfates are actually skin irritants. And any of the bad alcohols, you can just look that up. There are good alcohols that can appear in your products, but if they're the wrong kind of alcohols, they will be drying to your skin and cause skin, and also be a skin irritant. So what is an endocrine disrupting chemical? It's a compound, natural or synthetic, which through environmental or inappropriate developmental exposure alters the hormonal and homeostatic systems that enable the organism to communicate with and respond to the environment. And that is from the Endocrine Society scientific statement. So it causes, endocrine disrupting chemicals can cause skin problems, as well as weight gain, sleep, mood, energy, and then trouble getting pregnant and additional hormone issues. So a lot of times people think, okay, or they will say, it's just a little bit, right? It's just a little bit of toxins. But what usually happens is something called bioaccumulation. And this is the accumulated total of chemical toxins in the human body. Continuous exposure overloads our natural detoxification system and leads to a buildup in our bodies. So it's just like we have a glass of water, and maybe that glass of water is just only 3/4 of the way full. And every day we just put a drop of toxins in: our deodorant, our shampoo, our makeup, our skincare that's working really good for us. And it takes a while for it to fill up. And there's no noticeable effects in the beginning. But as it fills up, eventually it's going to get to the top and it's going to overflow. And that's when you're 35 years old and all of a sudden your deodorant is breaking you out. Or you're 37 years old and all of a sudden your time of the month is irregular. That is the bioaccumulation of those chemicals that have been going into your body. So just like we talked about with the good skin care routine in your 20s, doing the same thing and avoiding toxins and chemicals in your 20s will help you live a lot better when you get older. And if you're already there, then it will help reduce and minimize a lot of the things. When I took toxins out of my home, my skincare got better, as well as my respiratory got better as well, because that was something else that I struggled with. So the company that I work with and the company that I represent is actually called Young Living Essential Oils. And they have what is called their Seed to Seal promise. So they get better than organic seeds. They're in charge of the whole process. They cultivate those seeds, they distill them, they go through 17 different tests, and then they seal the bottles. And they have those same standards when it comes to all of their products. And many people don't know that because they've been around for 26 years, they have so many product lines. They have CBD, they have skincare, they have makeup, they have fitness, they have everything that you need for every aspect of health and wellness and toxic-free living. And so again, the third Sunday of every month, which would be this upcoming Sunday, we do a virtual monthly spa party so that you can try some of the products. And the way that we do it is you just DM me, preferably immediately because of the way the mail is, because Tuesday is probably the latest I can send samples out. And then I send the samples, we get onto Zoom at the times indicated, and we walk through all of the steps together. And then just some of the options that we have. Again, we do the double cleansing method. I do that every night with my Mirror Lustrous cleansing oil. And so all of these products are also going to have essential oils infused in them, which are going to have different benefits as well. But for the cleansing step that we talked about, we have different options. We have the cleansing oil for your first step to do your double cleansing. And then we have basically what you see on the screen is the first one is really for more young skin. The next one is for mature skin, like 40 up. And then the last one is just kind of in between. And then the toner, which again, that was really good information. The way that I used the one on the top in the past was thinking that it was additional step in my cleansing. I would use a cotton ball or something and I would rub it on. So knowing that you're actually supposed to pat it on, very good information. But again, there's two options for the toner. And then the exfoliation that we talked about towards the end, there's a couple of options for that. We have a charcoal bar soap, which does a lot of exfoliating and cleansing in a very gentle way. And then there's the actual scrub. And then we do have an eye cream and then the acne treatment if you need something of that level. And then our serum, it does have the hyaluronic acid that was mentioned in there. And then there's another one for dry skin that's a little bit more moisturizing. And then this is the mask that I did today. So this is the sheet mask that I did for 15 minutes before I did the class. And then a variety of different options for moisturizers. So there's an intensive, a wrinkle cream, our new one, the Bloom, which I've been using the most. And that was actually formulated over in Asia, and it was tested for a year in Asia. So a lot of individuals in Thailand and Korea and Japan have been using that. And then we have a lighter one for oily skin, etc. Just lots of different options. But this is the cleanser for Bloom. And then there's a brightening cream or brightening. This is our brightening essence, and that's your toner, and then the brightening moisturizer for that. And that one is designed more for like 35 and up. And then toxic-free sunscreen, which I need to incorporate into my regimen because I don't do that on a regular basis. And then just where to start. So again, I can't stress the importance of getting toxins out of your life and having natural solutions for everything. And so that's why I share and do all of this education. And most people start with essential oils. That's what they start with because there's something in this kit that helps with every single aspect of their life. So you have something that's gonna give you some muscle and minor tension relief. You have things that are going to help your respiratory system. You have things that are going to help with stress relief. You're going to have things that you can take internally for your immune system. You're going to get started with the toxic-free cleaning as well as a supplement line. And then the best part is that you would get a membership discount on any of the skincare products that you want. So you can see there what the value of getting started with a premium starter kit with the oils. But then there's also different options. You could start with just the cleaning products or the red juice, or you could just customize. You could actually say, hey, I just want to pay $35 for the membership and I just want to get the skincare set. So there's lots of different options, but when you do the membership, you get a huge discount because, as you can see there, it's basically 60% off. You get the diffuser and all the goodies that you see there. So that's where most people start. And then if you're not connected with me yet, you can find this replay on my YouTube channel, just my name. I do lives usually weekly on Instagram and Facebook. Any of my upcoming classes will be on my Facebook page here. And then if you want detailed information about the products and the ingredients and to compare them, then you can go onto my website, which is vidaactiva.life. And then we just do classes all the time. My sister has a class. It's a Wellness Wednesday class for those that aren't occupied on Wednesday evenings. Again, our virtual spa party will be this Sunday. So if you're interested in participating in that, just DM me to get the stuff, and then you just PayPal me for the shipping and like a little bit to cover the because I have to repackage it and all that stuff. So I go to the Container Store and get those packages. And then next Tuesday, we just have a general plants for wellness. So that is a very essential oil-based class that you can attend at noon. It is designed for our international markets because we share with a lot of people in South America and Europe and Africa, but everything that they have, we have here in the States, so anyone can attend that. And then we actually have a home-based business class that we do every week for any individual that's actually interested in not just getting the most amazing products in the world, but also getting them covered by sharing with other people. And then we have a back to school basics class. So lots on immune support and concentration, especially with the changes that we are experiencing. And that is my portion to share with you guys today. If there's any questions. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Tashena. I learned something new.
Good deal, good deal, good deal. Well, alrighty, if there's nothing else, then we can close this out. Again, the replay will be available on my YouTube channel. I will also put it in the Facebook event. And Ruben, I will DM it to you as soon as it's ready. It'll probably take an hour because it takes like 20 minutes to download and then to upload it to YouTube.
I'm sorry. I was also reading the comments. I was like, I hope I did. Someone asked about the sheet mask, right? We covered that.
Yep, we covered it. Yep. Yeah, I read it off because I know Nina was in transit. Yep. Anything else? All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.